Hi, welcome back to Heavenstobees YouTube channel. Last time we did a seed haul, we looked at a lot of different flowers, especially those that are good for our pollinators. Today we're going to look at some vegetable seeds that I picked up for the veggie garden. Let's get started. We are going to jump right in, starting with my favorite, cucumbers. I usually direct sow my cucumbers. So this is a Sumter cucumber, 50 days to harvest, non-GMO, fairy morse. See how much I paid for it. So when you buy seeds, especially if you're buying from a local distributor or a garden center, oftentimes they will mark down the seeds that didn't sell last year. So you can tell this one says packed for 23, sell by 12/23. And these have the date 2023, 11/23. And then a lot in origin. So you can see what year the seeds were packed and what year they were intended to be sold. So cucumbers we plant late April through July. Sow a few seeds over a hill 12 inches tall, 2 feet across with well-drained soil. I have only ever grown cucumbers in a raised bed, and I have only ever grown cucumbers in square foot gardening, or at least some version of that. So in square foot, this is a pickling cucumber. In square foot, you would put one seed, like if this was your square foot, you would put one seed here, one seed here. And then if you were doing more than 1 foot, you could do one seed here, one seed here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And then you could thin them if you did more than 1 seed. But that's what I did last year, and it worked out really, really well. So this is a cucumber I have not grown before, Sumter, but it is pickling. It's the most popular pickling cucumber for pickles of all sizes. It's very productive, which is what I like. And I like to have more than one variety in case something happens. And here's pickle bush. I've grown pickle bush before. I like pickle bush a lot. This is another pickling cucumber. These are container friendly. In full sun, 52 days to harvest. That one's 50 days to harvest. It's good to know. What I like to do is plant a few and then wait 2 weeks, and then plant a few and then wait 2 weeks and then plant a few. That way when my my cucumbers are ready, I always call them pickles because that's what I make with cucumbers. When my cucumbers are ready, they're not all ready at one time and overwhelm me in the kitchen. So this one was packed for 2023. Pickling varieties bear small, blocky fruits with tender skin and are perfect for making all types of pickles. They may also be enjoyed fresh. Plants are easy to grow, very prolific, bearing an abundance of tender fruit throughout the summer. This is 53 to 60 days till maturity. And this is a local company out of Garner, North Carolina. So you'll see that I have quite a few of those. A lot of the local Ace Hardwares and the local A&A plants north of Greensboro carry them. I think Plant and See in Winston-Salem carries them too, but I could be mistaken. Here's a bush sugar baby watermelon, We like these. They're very small. 80 days to harvest, 2 to 3 per group. They're a space-saving bush type vines, grow only 3 to 4 feet long, and the melons are 12 pounds and have a sweet and juicy flesh. These really are delicious. We really enjoyed them last year. I plan on planting some more. This year, I want to stagger those as well. I am going to attempt to plant my own herbs this year. I planted sage last year, and I want to say it came back. Something came back. I'll have to go look at it, see what it was. But this was packed for 2021, and I did get it at quite a discount. It was about 50 cents to buy this. And in our area, we would plant after April 16th, maybe. But again, that's 2021. That was used by 12/2021. So what I would do with this is I might plant a few more than I normally would, and then thin them if they all come up. So there's dill, because I pickle a lot of cucumbers. And it gets expensive to buy my own dill. Now we love carrots. I picked up some Danvers carrot. I've grown these before. They're excellent in heavy soils, resistant to cracks and splits. I got the short and sweet, which again, we have grown. This is a 2023. This is a 2023. Now, this one's 68 days to maturity, and the Danvers is 65. But again, I will plant carrots, and then a few weeks later, I'll plant more carrots, so that we end up with a longer chance to enjoy the carrots. I've grown these as well, the half long. These are also 2023. And in our area, you can plant them through May, so I'll be planting those. This is another local variety packed for 2023. I have not grown this brand, but they're the heirloom Danvers half long, so I would assume that they're going to be very similar to these carrots. And catnip. So catnip, I wonder if it's part of the mint family. I'm not sure, but it was self-seeding and it will take over. So what I plan on doing is putting it in a container. Because my neighbor has cats. She has outdoor cats, and they like to come and hang out in my garden. So I will plant them some catnip, because I think that would be fun. And they're over here anyway. And then I picked up some dill from Fairy Morse, and this is a package for 2023. So I thought that in case my 2021 dill doesn't come through. Picked up some basil. This is sweet basil. When you think of basil and the smell, this is what you're thinking of. All the tiny seeds in there. I have never grown basil from seed, so we will see. Remove flower buds to encourage leaf growth. Annual herb. They have a spicy flavor which makes green salads, tomato and cheese dishes, soups, and omelets extra delicious. My husband really loves fresh basil. And in our area, we can plant through July. Sow in the garden in full sun when danger of frost is over. So I picked up a basil plant, but I would also be interested to see how well seeds do. So we'll see. And then I'm going to try my hand at pole beans. I have never grown pole beans. These are Kentucky Wonder. You can't lose with this 1800s heirloom Kentucky Wonder brown seed. It has a wonderful, if not unsurpassed flavor. Outproduces most other pole beans with heavy crops of 9-inch long, gently curved, somewhat flat pods. Multi-use bean, drying, shelling, and green, stringless when young. Excellent for freezing, good production, even in hot climates. Resistant to common bean mosaic virus. This packet sows up to 20 feet or 2 4-foot diameter teepees. See inside for instructions on how to build a bean teepee. I grew my tomatoes on teepees last year, so maybe a bean teepee would be something to try. Here are a shelling pea. These baby peas pack full pea flavor, so sweet and tender, you'll be saying, "Pass the peas, please." And so, not recommended to start them indoors. Soak in water for 12 to 24 hours before sowing. Not required, but it does hasten germination. Disease resistant to powdery mildew. That's nice. 4 to 6 weeks before your average last frost date. So that has passed. And again, 10 to 12 weeks before your average first frost date. So we'll be sowing these in the fall, I believe. And peas and beans often put nitrogen back into the soil. So if you're growing heavy feeders like tomatoes and peppers, then that's a good idea to have a winter crop of peas. Here are pumpkins. I don't know if I will be doing pumpkins this year, even though I did pick these up, but these were 2022, so I got them at a discount. But I really like the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. If we make the bed, we're adding 2 beds this week, and we may add a 3rd to our vegetable garden. If that happens, we will plant pumpkins. And if not, we won't. Here's another 2022. This is a beet. My husband really likes pickled beets. So I thought I would perhaps pickle some beets. I've never pickled a beet before. These are cherry radishes, an heirloom. He likes to shave radishes onto his tacos. I like radishes in salads. This was packed for 2021, so we'll see. This is broadleaf mustard. I want to grow my own mustard seed. This is 2021, so it was a discount because I don't know how to grow mustard seed, and they felt like mustard seeds that I use for pickling. So I thought that if I let them bolt, they may produce mustard seed for me. Oh, here's a flower we missed. Rudbeckia. These attract goldfinches as well. This is an older, yeah, 2022 variety. Packed for 2022. Oh, and it's open. Look. You want to see what they look like? They're very small. Can you see in there? They almost look like little tiny ants or something. See? Tiny, tiny, tiny. Tiny seeds. Oh. I don't want to plant Rebecca on my table. These are black-eyed Susans though, so I think that will be okay. Even if they did open. And some okra. This is the Clemson spineless. I like a spineless okra. 2022. I will bread them and freeze them to keep them. If you don't bread them, they can get mushy. But we like them in Brunswick stew and other stews. And here is a Connecticut field pumpkin, which I would like to grow pumpkins because I like to put pumpkins on our front porch in the fall. And I always feel bad if I buy a bunch because we don't use them and they're expensive. This is a 2022 as well. But I thought this way we could decorate and the kids can carve, and then the other ones we can donate. Here's some more sweet basil. These are 2022 seed. So what I will do is I will use the older seed first. And then use the newer seed. Here's some more mustard. This is Southern Giant Curled, non-GMO. Again, Garner, North Carolina. Packed for 2022. Sow seed as soon as ground can be worked. Repeat at 3-week intervals, timing last sowing to mature before onset of hot weather. Cool weather and frost sweeten the flavor. So again, you can eat the mustard greens, which is great, but I'm really interested in the seeds. Then I picked up some lima beans. Again, these were discounted. These are the early thoroughgrain bush, non-GMO. Delicious flavor and high nutritional value makes them a favorite with most cooks. We eat lima beans in almost every soup because they are protein rich, full of vitamins and minerals. So, and that shows you here how to plant lima beans. And it's interesting with these because it's not this variety. It tells you how to grow bush beans and pole beans. So that's interesting. So you would need to know if this was a bush or a pole. Now this one says early thoroughgrain bush, so this is a bush bean. But I going to plant these where my heavy feeders are. So where my peppers and tomatoes will be. Now, I do not grow peppers and tomatoes from seed because I don't start them inside myself. I don't have a place or the light requirements. So I try and purchase plants locally. This year I did. Last year I ended up ordering from Burpee, I believe. And they're 5 for 4 for whatever deal, 3 for 30 maybe deal. But this year a local grower had theirs outside of an antique store. And so I picked up a few flats of tomatoes and peppers to plant. And last but not least, just a second cucumber for pickling. This was 2022. So I will use those as well. Okay, well that's it. There's my seed haul. And I hope you enjoyed going through that with me. And I hope you have a lovely, wonderful, amazing, fabulous day. Thanks so much.